show you how to edit the website and the back end and all that fun stuff. Okay, so all this stuff you have control of all of this. Okay, so we are going to log into the website with the URL that I had sent to you and the username and password. Once you log in, you're going to see this dashboard. I always just take this little WooCommerce thing and throw it up here, and then you're not going to have to touch it again. Okay, you don't have to worry about any of this other stuff that's on here. You can actually just close those down if you don't want them bugging you. You're only going to concern yourself with the orders like I showed you in the last, and the products obviously. So everything's controlled over here. Posts you're not going to deal with unless you want to put a blog on the site. I kind of recommend it if you want to start doing some marketing for SEO. You know, add a post and then talk about whatever you want to talk about. Media is where all your images are, where all of the, if you look at this, I always open up new tabs. So on here you have every single image that's inside the site, okay? All the product images and everything like that's all been uploaded in here, okay? So there's a lot, all right? So if you ever need an image, and then you can always go look for one. Just type in logo, and then you'll start finding these, you know, all these different logos that are in here. These are from the original install that I did. I could probably, I'm gonna leave them in there. I don't mess with them. Don't delete any of that stuff because otherwise it'll come off your store and you screw stuff up. Pages. So the pages are your about page and then your cart. You're not going to touch that. You're not going to touch checkout. Contact us. You can if you want. Homepage, you can if you want. My account, don't recommend touching that. Privacy, if you want to change that, you can. And then shop, don't touch that one. So real simple. So you'd send me an email about making some adjustment to put it on top of the checkout page. So I'll do that in a second. But I'm going to show you here. So here's the homepage right here, okay? So what I ended up doing is I added this backup plugin over here. It's called Updraft, and it's underneath the settings, okay? And so the reason I did that was in case you destroy anything that you can restore a backup real quick. Well, I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then what you do is if you scroll down here, you'll see some of the database backups. I'm going to get rid of this stuff, actually. Get rid of that one. And I'll get rid of this one. You always want to leave one in there, okay? So this is your database, your plugins, your theme, your uploads, your products, everything, okay? So all you do is you click backup, and then if you click this here, it'll show you what it's going to back up. Click here, it's going to back up, right? So I'm not going to kick that off now. Let me see, 14, I did one from when I did the restore. But if you're going to get in here and make like a bunch of changes and you're worried about like messing stuff up and you want to have the latest backup, all you do is you go to settings, go to Updraft Plus, and then just click on this backup, and both of these things should be selected, and click backup now. And then you're going to want to stay on that page and let it go through its little backup process. So if you want to do anything else, what I usually do is open up this page in a different tab, and then I click backup. You don't want to put a bunch on there because you only have so much space, disk space, so you don't want to destroy that, okay? Over here you have something called cart flows. You'll never touch that. I'm just going to go over this, and I'll go back to pages and editing a homepage, okay? So cart flows, don't worry about that. You'll never use it. WooCommerce is the main like brain thing. You're only really going to be dealing with orders. And then if you keep people, I know you delete people out of your system and everything, but if you wanted to find the customers, you can click here and click on customers, and then it'll show you the customers, right? There's nobody in here because we deleted the orders and everything, right? Nobody's created a customer. Coupons, if you wanted to create a promo code for whatever reason, I don't think you're going to because you have such low margins, but you can. There's percentage-based discount, and then there's, I'm going to remove that. And then there's, you know, fixed rate discounts and things like that, so it's up to you. You can mess around and play with that if you want. Create your first coupon. You can call it, you know, fixed cart. I'm going to call it 5%. Right, so somebody enters that word 5%, and I do a percentage discount, and I select the amount 5 here, and then I can say with the usage limit. You could play around with that if you want. I'm not going to leave this active though. So I selected publish, and then it actually publishes it. So if someone gets to your store and uses that, they're going to get 5% off right now. So I'm going to select edit. I'm going to select draft and say okay, and then update. And now the coupon is gone off the site. They can't use it. It's in draft mode. Okay, that's how WordPress works with drafts or with you know, the page stuff. So you can work on pages and not destroy the front end of the website. So let's go through this. WooCommerce, Fibo search, you don't have to worry about that. That's that cool search thing I made at the top right-hand side. Reports, if you want to click on that and look at your sales reports, you can. Settings, you don't really need to mess with that. unless you want to change. So there's no sales in there, obviously. So if you wanted to mess with the settings actually controls where you can actually change the email addresses. So if you click on emails here, you'll see that new order is going to go to mypartsinfo at Yahoo, and support. You can change that here. Now, I left you on as the rest of these, and then these all go to the customer. And then the from address has to come from Worldwide Performance 1 from the web address, because for whatever reason, it's throwing those errors on Yahoo and the other ones. Don't know why yet. I'll have to look into that. So you can control, the emails that go there. Integration, don't worry about it. Accounts and privacy, if you wanted to change this, you can. Allow customers to place orders without an account. So if you want to force people to have an account, you can just deselect that, and then you just go to the bottom and save. Okay. Payments. So this is where your offline credit card thing is set up. Offline credit cards right here. Click on Manage. So if you look at this, it's enabled right now. Title's called Credit Card. You can call it Pay with Credit Card or whatever you want. Right now, the email address, this is going to go to you and to me when the credit cards are going through. I'm just keeping it on there for now for to make sure that you get the credit card info. Then it's called additional order details, order number, blah, blah, WPP. So you saw that email in the prior video about how that comes in. Now, if you wanted to change the status of when someone orders after they pay via credit card, if you wanted to go to processing instead, you can. But I just left it on hold because I know that you deal with the orders. You manually go in there and mess with them and stuff. So here I put the cardholder name just to keep it separate, because some people might have somebody else's credit card. Identity, you don't have to worry about that. Debit or credit card, if you wanted to select that, I just left it deselected. And it'll be a credit card. Enable icons is the actual little Visa MasterCard icons that you see. And I ended up creating a backup storage for the credit cards, right? So if something happens, I ended up creating this folder, enable backup storage feature, copy the storage from the script. I did that. So I put it on Worldwide Performance on the other site. So there is the PHP file over there. I haven't tested that yet, so I don't know about that. WooCommerce form, this actually is using the credit card fields that you saw in my test. Enable CC test, so if you want to just test a credit card, you can go ahead and do the same thing, put it through there. Otherwise, it's going to do some other hash checks and things. And then when you're done, select save down here. Okay, so did I change anything? I don't think so. All right. So next, status, you don't have to worry about that. Extensions, offline credit card, don't worry about that. That's where the license is. It's actually under my email address and whatever. So if you needed to renew that, you just pay me, and then I'll renew it for you. But you're not going to do that for a while. Products is where all the products are. I'll go over that in a second. Analytics is for the you can see, how many people purchase this and that and everything through there, so you can play around with that. Marketing, that's where the coupons are. Elementor, don't worry about any of this stuff on here. It's already all set up. It's the actual WYSIWYG thing that you're going to be using in the second. Templates, there aren't any created. You don't need to really mess with that. Appearance, you don't really need that. You probably end up using customize a little bit if you wanted. Widgets, menus, yeah, I just don't touch any of that stuff. Make your life easier. Plugins, you'll see some numbers that pop up next to the plugins. That means they need to be updated. Like I told you, I log in there once in a blue moon kind of thing. Every month I go in and look at these accounts and see which plugins need to be updated. There is a plugin I'm going to add that's going to add some security to this as well. Users, this is where all the people that create accounts are going to be in here. Also you and me and the admins. You're an admin, I'm an admin. Don't take me out unless you don't want me working on the site. Tools, don't worry about any of this stuff. You don't need to deal with any of that. Settings, this is already all set up. So here it has a general setting, and so if you click on general, you'll end up seeing worldwide performance parts. So if you're going to call it worldwide WPP off-road performance, you can change it here. It doesn't really affect anything. It's just for you, for vanity's sake. That's the login URL to where you're actually logged into the dashboard. So go ahead and go to writing. So all this is if you're, you don't really need to mess with this either. Writing, reading, don't need to mess with that. Media, don't need to mess with that. Permalinks, don't need to mess with that. Privacy, child theme generator, don't need to mess with that. Google Analytics, I installed it already, so it's already picking up data. You don't need to mess with that. WP hard login, don't mess with that. Disable comments, don't mess with that. Don't mess with that. Don't mess with that. You don't need to touch any of that stuff. SEO, this is just a general SEO plugin that's on here for each of the pages, and you'll see that in a little bit. Duplicator is what I use to migrate the site over. Don't touch that thing. Loginizer scrutiny. Security just helps with people trying to access the site, and I'm asking you to put another plugin on there. So now, let's go over how to change the homepage. Okay, so what I usually do is I log into the dashboard here, and then I just open up another tab, right? I'm gonna do it on the other end. Let me do it on this thing here. So let me do it here. So I want to edit this page, and I'll just type in W. All right, so mine's saved in there. Okay, so it's gonna log me into the dashboard, right? So I can find the home page by going to Pages, and then here's the front page, Home. Click on that, or you can edit in Elementor. You can click that right there. But here's where you're gonna edit. You're gonna use this thing, edit with Elementor, and then you have some other stuff over here. You don't really need to worry about this stuff until you're finished. So click on Edit with Elementor. Okay, so you have control over all the stuff that you can see the boxes on. So see how I'm rolling over and it's kind of highlighting things? You have control over changing that stuff, okay? So if I go ahead and, for instance, I want to change this big image that's back here, these boxes have these things at the top of them, or they have a little edit thing next to it, right? So if I want to edit this one, I click these, 8, whatever, this thing in the center. If you click that X, it's going to delete it. If you do that accidentally, just close the browser or close the window out because you didn't save anything yet. You always have to hit this update in order for it to save stuff, okay? So I click on that, and if you look over here, it's got some stylings and stuff, but if you want to change the image, click on Style, and if you notice, it has these 2 images for the slideshow. So I can click in here, and I have these 2 images. I could add another one if I want, or I can take one out and just have one image, right? So when you're doing these images, if you are going to do these images, notice that they're 1920 by 1100 pixels, right? So if you are going to do these, use a program like Canva or Photoshop or Photopea or whatever. And when you do that and you make these images, you're going to save them as a JPEG, and then you're going to want to go to. Let me close. Let me go back. I don't want to edit that. You're going to want to go to this other URL called tinyjpeg.com, right? And then you upload the image here. I'll show you what it does. Watch. So let's grab. How many images? Let me see. Let me go to media here. This is your old one. Catalog. All right, so this let me grab. All right, so here's 309 kilobytes, right, for this exhaust Raptor. So I upload this guy. It's 309, and it kicks it. It squishes it down to 85. This is awesome. Then you just click download. So now it's going to throw the download on my desktop, right? Full system PNG, right? So now it's compressed. Now the image will be way faster than it normally is, right? So then I would just go back into my little thing here, click on Add Gallery. And that image is wrong. It's not 1920 by 1100, right? So you're going to have to format that in your what's the word? You're going to have to format that in your Photoshop program, okay? So, I don't know why this is being weird right now. Okay. Let me try it again. Okay, let's click. Oop. So see what I did is I added that thing and I messed up. So I would just close it. But you can always just go back. Watch this. Click those 3 dots up there. Exit the dashboard. Leave the site. Leave. Right? I didn't save anything. So I'll go back into Elementor. Click on my little guy there, click here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add to gallery. So I click add to gallery, and then I can pick whatever other image, or I can upload an image, right? So if I want to upload one, I click on upload files, select, and then I go find the image that's I just compressed, which was on my downloads folder, right? It's in here somewhere. Anyway, it's in there, but it's that really small one. So you want to grab the smaller ones, right? Once you upload them, right? So let's just say I'm gonna pick. Let me pick this one. That one's not. It needs to be 1920 by 1100. It's kind of important, otherwise it's gonna stretch it. I'll show you this one. Watch. So this is 1650 by 1100. It's a different size. So this one's 1920. This one's 1920. That one's 1650, right? So if I select insert into gallery, watch what happens. Is that one. So it's going to fit it. It just stretches the image. You can't really tell. So you can always mess around with the sizes too to see what's going to work for you. I'll leave that one on there. It looks pretty cool. So that's finished, right? So now you got a new image for your gallery. You could always, like I said, you could delete those, or if you click on this trash, it'll get rid of the slideshow altogether. And then if you just wanted it to be a static image, you can click there to make it classic, and it'll just be an image. But I like the slideshow. I think it looks better. Okay, so you don't really have to mess with any of that stuff. If you feel good and that was the only thing you needed to do, you can click on update, and then it'll update the page on the front of your website. So now I don't want this raining hot offers for summer. I just want to call it raining hot or raining offers or whatever. Or how about WPP launches new website. And you could change this, whatever. And then all products, you can change this to whatever you want it to say. But if you notice, I'm editing it here, but I can also edit it over here. Okay? So, and then I could link stuff. So say I wanted this to link to something, I can just highlight it, what's over here, and then I put in my URL, right? So say I wanted it to link to a new window or whatever, right? So you can do that. And then the shop thing, same thing. If I click on there, it says shop now. I can change what that says, you know, buy now, whatever you want to call it. The type is danger, warning, default, and then you have control over the colors as well. So this actually links to the main store right now. And then I've got it where if I click on style, and you notice how the background color is red. So if I didn't want it red, I can just select it there and then change the color and move it around. All right, so say I wanted a different color. Let me just change it here. It's black, right? There you go. But I'm going to set it back because I like red. All right, let's go up here. Okay. So now that's finished. I'm happy with the page. Everything's hunky-dory. I love it and everything. So I select update, okay? So right now I could still scroll down the page. If I wanted to scroll down the page some more, and now I want to change the image on this guy, right? So you see the same thing. You can just click on the text. You can edit the text. Click the text, edit the text. Click on the button, edit the color, right? So now if I want to change this image, the easiest thing to do is just right-click on the image and then select edit column. And then watch what happens. On the left-hand side, style, and then there's my image. See the guy writing? And there's the guy. So if I want to change that to something else, say I want to change it to this dude again. Remember, that's a big image. You don't really want to put huge images there. See how it's way off the screen now? That just is not good. So let's put him there. He fits, right? So anyway, so I'm going to go back and what did I have there? I had this dude. And notice there's 700 by 700. I made those on purpose, 700 by 700. So, and then in the future, when you're doing your product images, you want to do them 600 by 600, okay? So now I'm finished with that. I like the way it looks. Or I want to change this one out. Same thing, right-click, edit column, style, image, right? Just roll over it. Click there, go find whatever image, upload an image, or use the media document, upload an image. Whenever you upload something, and then here's another one, free images from Pixabay. I installed this thing so you could go in here and look for stuff. So ATV, this is one website, but then there's, you know, and there's a bunch of them on here. Okay, so you can mess around with that thing, which is real cool. Okay, so upload file, media. If you do upload something, just make sure that you add an alt tag to it. So say for instance, I want to put in a new exhaust, so I'm gonna put in this Raptor. Watch what happens. So let me just upload this one. So I'm uploading it. for SEO purposes, right? So now it's selected. See how the alt tag has nothing in it? I want to call this like Raptor whatever, right? 700 exhaust. So make sure everything has an alt tag, and then select insert media. So now it's put the new picture back there. But see how it kind of frames it in there? So if you're trying to get it to where it's going to fit in there, you could mess around with this stuff right here where it says no repeat, size cover. So if you say auto, it gets a little smaller. If you select constrain, it gets even smaller. That's actually the size of the image, right? So it's putting it in there. But notice now you have space on the top and bottom. It looks kind of bad. So you could also do custom. You select default. I just leave it at cover because then it covers the whole background. Looks nice. Okay. So I'm not going to save anything I'm doing. I'm going to let you get in here and mess around with this. So you scroll down here, featured products. So if I click on featured products, you can change this to featured exhaust, featured whatever you want to call it, okay? Then down here, you can just click on the top there, and it says featured product columns 5, limit 10. So the featured products is a category inside of WordPress. Okay, and I'll show you that in a second. So all you do is you assign a couple of products to the featured products category, and then they'll show up on the home page here. So I'll show you that in a second. This image again, so there's an image back there. So you can click on those 6 icons again, click on style, and then you could change this dude right in the back. You could change this, you could click on that and change the link, right? Change the link, there's the button. Okay, scroll down. Fast shipping, if you don't want this stuff on here, right? If you don't, you could just delete those guys if you want. You click on the little X sign. Like if I click this X, it would get rid of this whole section, right? But you can't get it back. You can do Control Z to try to do an undo, and it would work for a second. Then you got these logos down here. So if I click on this guy, it's this carousel. So if I click on it and I wanted to add some more to the gallery there, the same thing I do, just like the slider at the top. Add the gallery, and then I add the logos. The logos are, I don't think they're resized. Yeah, they're not resized. 194, 94. If I was doing that from scratch with their logos, I'd probably make them all 194 by 194 on a white background using Photoshop or something like that. Down here you have the testimonial, so you can get rid of this dude if you don't want him on here. You can change it, or you can get rid of the testimonial altogether by clicking that X sign, or you can edit it, like I said, change it. All right, and then down here the footer is controlled in another area. You don't really need to change that or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and make this probably a darker. Anyway, so that's how you edit the homepage, right? Super simple, and it's wicked easy to use, right? So when you're done, you can select update, and then once you selected update, you can get back to the dashboard by clicking those little guys right there, and then exit the dashboard. Or if you wanted to see your handiwork, you can click on view page, and then it's going to say, oh, your changes may not be saved. So you can preview it if you wanted to. I'm not going to do it though. Okay, so here's raining hot summer, right? Yeah, so everything I didn't get saved because I didn't save it, right? So now for the featured products, right? So these featured products, if I'm logged into the back end of WordPress here, I go over to WooCommerce, I go to products, I click on categories, right? And you have one called featured. Oh, I'm sorry. No. You don't do it that way. You go to, you go to the products themselves, and there's this little star to the right of the products. I forgot about this. So these guys right here, right? So if I wanted, there's no image for them though, so I'd probably pick some that have images. Notice there's a blue star there. Is that image? So if I wanted to add this guy, I just click on the star and let it refresh. I think it takes a minute. Oh, you gotta click on it twice. There we go. You gotta wait for it for a second. Okay, so now it changed it to blue, the blue star. So if I go back to the home page and refresh, it's probably gonna add one more product there. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Is that the one I added? Getting tired. HMF exhaust for Wolverine. Yeah, for wool ring spec H2. So there you go. Yep. So you don't have to remember and go through and deselect the other ones. Whatever you select new will take over. It should take over. So let's see, HMF exhaust for brute force is not selected. So I'll select it once. Okay, so now it's selected. So if I go back and I refresh, yeah, so brute force. So it's going to swap those out. Actually, it made another row for you. I'm going to have to limit those. 3, 4, 5. So there's a limit of 5. I'll just do, unless you want 2 rows, you can put 2 rows there of products. But that's up to you. So that's how you do that. Now for products, if you want to edit the product, say for instance, you don't want to dig through and look through all these to find out what it is, but you know that you want to edit the image for HMF exhaust for Terex, right, or whatever. So I could just type in HMF exhaust. You can start typing the name for T and then hit search products. So I'll go through, and that's going to bring up all the HMF exhaust and stuff with, for T, for with the word HMF exhaust 4, right? So, but if I had the full name, I know what it is, but this one is pretty smart. So I click on the actual link, right? It's going to take me into the product. Real simple. This is the description of the product. Really easy, right? Description of the product. You can bold it and do whatever you want. You scroll down here some more. Here's your SEO stuff. So if you wanted to change what this actually displayed on the search engines, you could change this as well as the title. And then this is green. You're trying to get these to green. So I'd probably put HMF exhaust for ATV, and you can keep typing, and it'll finally get to green. So if you want to go in there and do those, you can. If you scroll down some more, you're going to start. You'll see where it's a simple product. It's $379.95. It's taxable, right? And then inventory. If you have any inventory, you're not tracking it, but it is in stock. So if you only had 5, you can actually click on Enable Stock Management, and you can put how many you have there. So next thing is shipping. So if you click on shipping, it just goes by the weight. Okay. If I go linked products, so linked products would be like you may also like, right, in the bottom of it. So a lot of your products already have that at the bottom of them. Attributes, you don't really have to worry about that. Advanced, don't worry about that. Purchase note, you can put an individual purchase note on there. Cart flows, don't worry about that. Get more options, don't worry about that. Add-ons, here's where all your options are, right? So the year, the exhaust, the muffler, the end caps, quiet core. So you just click on this little drop down here, and then it's a multiple choice, right? Quiet core drop down. Title is quiet cores, and then here are all your options. So if you need to add another one, you just click on add option. Gives you another little box. You could type in there, put it whatever it is, quantity based, fee based, whatever, flat fee. So this is quantity based, 60, right? So quantity based, and I put in. That means that if you order 1 or 2 or 3 from the main product, it's going to reflect here, okay? So if you put flat fee here, if I order 20 of them and then this option is only $5, I could add 100 of them and this would stay at $5. So that's kind of cool, all right? So I'm not going to use that. I click the little X, I get rid of it. And just be careful. If you delete one of these, they're gone, man. You got to redo them. So scroll down some more. Say, for instance, you wanted to add another, so quiet chorus, and then the next thing down, I want to add, I don't know, pipe fitting. Hit add field, and then it gives you another option, right? So do I want it to be multiple choice? Do I want it to be a checkbox? Do I want it to be text? So you have some other options here, really cool. So it's going to be drop downs. I could do radio buttons. I could change to images. So title, I'm going to call it pipes, whatever. Is my label, format title. So you can call this pipes. All right. I can add a description if I wanted to explain what it is, and it'll be right below the text on the product page. Option, then I start adding my options. I make sure they're quantity based, okay? Quantity based, and go through and add my options. So I'll just add it to this product, all right? So I'm gonna call it test, and then I'm gonna call it 10 bucks. And that's it, I'm just gonna do one, okay? Further down the page, I'll just show you HMF exhaust for Terex. I'll show you where that is as well. So now I've got this information on here. I haven't updated it yet, so I need to scroll up to the top. I need to select update. Also, say for instance, I wanted to add this product to another category. So I wanted it to show up. I wanted it to show up under HMF, but I also wanted it to show up under ATV parts, all brands. I click that like that, and then I click on update. Okay, so right now a lot of that stuff is not assigned to multiple things. So ATV replacement parts. So if you wanted it assigned to multiple things, and once you're finished updating that, you click on update. Okay. So I wanted to add it to all these. So this one product will be added to all three of those categories. So now tagging, if you wanted to tag stuff too, it helps with SEO, but I wouldn't get too crazy with that stuff. We just type in the name you want to put in there, and you select update. So say for instance, I'm done doing my updates. I click update. So once that update's finished, I want to go ahead and take a look at this product. I just opened another tab. And then it shows me pipes. There's my drop down with test, right? Super easy. So I'm going to delete that. Add-ons, pipes, remove, okay. All right. And update. All right, so that product's updated. If I wanted to add another category, I mean, you have all these categories on here, ATV parts, filters, stuff like that. You can add new categories if you wanted to. So if you had a new one, or if you wanted to disable one, like you can also disable them as well. So real simple to do. Let me see, what else should I cover here for you? That's for the products. Oh, say I want to add a new product altogether. I can just click on products. I can click on add new here, or I can click on add new here. So let's add a new product. I'll call it add new. Okay, and I got the new product, and I'll call it test. And we have our test description, right? And then we're gonna assign it to ATV all parts. Collapse this SEO thing. It's a simple product. It's 200 bucks, right? Whatever, 200 bucks. And then you just scroll down and you start adding your add-ons. You can do, well, shipping, sorry. Shipping, on add the weight. So say it's 25 pounds. I go down some more add-ons. Then I start adding the field, just like I did before, right? So add the field. And then I have my multiple choice or a text box. Excuse me. Short text, long text, whatever you want, right? Short text, put in any text they want. Scroll down. You could fill this in too. This short description is this right here. Okay. You could also put the SKU in if you want for each product. You don't have any of that stuff under inventory, but something I didn't cover was the actual product images. So you want to set a product image, you can do that here. And then you go ahead and pick a product image, or you upload one. So you want to change them out, set product image, and then it uploads them. And then if you want to have more images that show below the product, so I don't have one on that one. Let me see here. Okay, so this one has a bunch of them below it, right? So this one's Barker exhaust. Here, let me find that one. Anyway, when I'm done adding the product, I select the category I want it in, right? And then it's in draft mode. So once I hit publish, then it'll be available. But I'm going to take this out. I'm going to move it to trash. Not working on it. Let me find Barker. That's the one that has all the extra images and stuff on it. So here's the product. Click on it. Scroll down. And then you'll see the product gallery. So you can either click these little X's and get rid of them, or you can add more by clicking there, or you can change this product out by removing the product and putting a new one on there. When you're finished, you always select update. All right, I'm going to finish this video because you keep calling me.